Hi everyone, Alvi here from Cosmic Soul Energy Messages. This is your weekly reading, your weekly guidance reading. Pick a card, and as you can see, I have 3 cards I've already picked out for you. I've shuffled and all of those things and gotten ready for you. So the first one we have here is number 44, Shine Your Light, and Rose Quartz. So I'll have a closer look up at this card. There we go. I'm not used to this camera setup, so excuse the wiggling around, I'll get used to it. So there we go, Shine Your Light. Got some like kind of mermaid, watery kind of energy coming through there. Then we have the chevron amethyst with water, the card water, the overflow, another very watery kind of energy, but slightly different, not so much mermaid, but more like, yeah, I don't know, sort of, it's giving me like underground caves and that kind of thing, like artesian water basin type vibes. So maybe like Middle Earth people, if you relate to that. So yeah. And we also have Star Seer, so something not so much of Earth, but more of the stars. We'll get that right, there we go. So Star Seer, which is number 46, if you like to pick by numbers. And is this event? No, it's Amazonite. So Amazonite is the crystal to choose from. So we'll just let that sit for a little while, and you can choose your reading. Choose your pile. And once you've chosen your pile, you can you can check the timestamps. I've had a few weeks off doing readings now, so you can tell that I'm getting a bit tangled up in my words. But yeah, in the description there will be timestamps, and those timestamps will take you to the pile that you've chosen, your reading that you've chosen. So I will see you over there in the readings. Hey, Alvi here. This is Group 1's reading. This was Take 2 because I had it set up so that it was an overhead thing, like so you could see the cards from overhead. My tripod decided to fall over and land in a candle. So I thought I'd just go back to the usual way that I do things. Feel free to laugh at me if you want. I'm giggling my head off right now. Anyway, so if this was your choice of cards, Shine Your Light, and this Rose Quartz, or you chose by Rose Quartz, should I say, then this is your reading. I'm going to get a few more cards. I just decided the fact that everything fell over and my phone actually, which I'm recording on, actually fell in a candle and put it out, was a good indication that I probably should just start all over again as far as drawing cards and telling the messages, telling the stories that come through, the messages that come through. So we're just going to do it all again. I might just give that a knock as well. Yeah, so I've been on a little bit of a break, so that's been cool. Just not reading, not really doing anything. Okay, so here we go. Your first message that's coming up as far as oracle cards, Sanctuary. Okay, so Shine Your Light and Sanctuary. Let's get another one from this deck. You might notice that I've got this little microphone on. Hopefully it's going to cut out the background noise because it's pretty noisy around where I live. So I'm actually able... Ooh, crystals. Okay, focus. Beautiful cards. Those two This matches, these kind of, they've got this very matching feel. Actually, all three of them really got this, the same blue color, the same purple colors. This, the crystal cave, you know, it's like a beautiful cave full of crystals, and it's like, you can kind of see magic in there. You can see that kind of purpley color coming through too, and I always associate that with magic. Purple is a very magical color. If you don't know, I'm sure you probably do. If I could speak properly, that would be fantastic as well. So, first message we get, I feel very much like this. There's a lot of watery energy in it, not just from the mermaid on the Shine Your Light card. Although I do feel like this is sort of calling you, if you are drawn to, I'm trying to think of the right word, the right label name. If you're drawn to like the mermaid, the mer people, I guess, the sea, you know, that kind of fantasy realm, or realm of, not fantasy, but you know what I mean, I'm sure. Elemental realm, that's what I'm trying to say, elemental realm. So if you are drawn to that like elemental realm, of the selkies, and you know, the mermaids, and all of those people, all of those elementals, all of those beings, or any of those beings, maybe this is sort of like something that's going to be starting to come out for you this week. I feel like you're maybe going to be sort of with two caves coming up. It's sort of giving me vibes of, you know, you kind of taking a step back, maybe to cultivate that light that's within you, and so that you can shine it more. Sanctuary sort of speaks, you know, obviously of a place where you feel safe, and that's the best way to get your light to shine, is to feel safe, whether it's a place that's inside you, I'm not talking properly again, or it's just a place that you feel safe, like your home or something like that. Finding sanctuary, finding a sacred space to do whatever it is that you want to do that helps you shine your light. And also I'm feeling crystals as well, focusing on crystals, using crystals specifically. I would say amethyst coming through here, or any of those purple crystals, or maybe blue as well. Let's have a look. Might go get some more messages from the fairies. I'll have a look and see what the fairy messages have got to say as well. Okay, so we have miracle healing. So something that wasn't working in your life and you've kind of given up on it. It could be health related, or it could be just life related, you know. Miracle healing. Healing doesn't have to be all about health. Healing is becoming whole, basically. So something that wasn't whole in your life might miraculously start to become whole. Or you might feel like that this week. And also we have happily ever after. Okay, so getting sort of, for some of you, relationship vibes. Not all of you, obviously. Happily ever after doesn't necessarily mean that you are, you know, happily ever after with someone else. Maybe you're finding your footing as far as, you know, just being happy with yourself and on your own and with life and all of that sort of stuff. There's a lot of magic in that card. I'm just kind of looking to see if there's any more messages. I think what we might do... uh-oh. I'm a disaster area as usual. And then what we might do now is we will grab some messages from the angels and see what they have to say before we get into the tarot. Okay, let go. There's something you need to let go of. It's for this kind of light shining, miracle healing, happily ever after energy. It's like beautiful energy coming through for you. I feel like something that has not been working out for you, or something you had given up on, as I said, when the miracle healing came out, is sort of coming back around, and it's going to bring you a lot of joy and a lot of happiness, but there's something that you need to let go of first. And maybe that might require, going into your sanctuary, going into your cave, your personal space, your wherever it is that you go, whether you meditate or whether you go to the beach and like listen to the sea or whatever it is, to work out, to have a bit of a soul searching kind of moment, which will bring that miracle healing, or the knowledge of how to bring that miracle healing into your life and create the happily ever after that you are obviously, you're wanting. And obviously with that card coming up, it's, something that's going to happen for you. Let's have a look and see what else the angels have to say. So letting go, something you need to be letting go of, or can be letting go of. It's never you need to. That's just my bad languaging. It's an invitation to let go of something. So let's have a look. What else would you like Group 1 to know? How else can Group 1 move forward this week with as much ease and grace as possible to bring in this happily ever after? We only had some come out then, but there was way too many. So, there we go. Look, there goes something. Abundance. Okay, so perhaps this is more surrounding, financial security, or business, bringing in abundance, feeling like you have enough, that kind of stuff, and letting go of those old beliefs that might not be serving you to create that. It says abundance within the next few weeks, so that's pretty cool. All right, so that's coming up. Let's see what else the angels have to say for Group 1. Group 1 angels. See what that one is. Get more information. Okay, something that you need more information on. Sometimes it's going to, a space or place or person, or you're reading books or Google or something like that to get more information. But sometimes it really requires going within to find the information that is, not as obvious as the things that just show up in front of you. Let's see what else we've got here. What other messages? Oh, here it comes. The situation will improve. So whatever situation this is talking about, we're talking about here, it will improve. And I feel like this is actually related a lot to abundance. I feel like maybe you've been going through a period of not having enough, or feeling like what you were doing to create abundance and bring it in wasn't really working, or something along those lines. I do feel it's very related to, making sure that you have enough, making sure that you can have a happily ever after kind of life, and never have to worry about, where's that next meal coming from and stuff like that. And the situation will improve, so that's good, within the next few months. Why am I itching? I hope that's not bumping my microphone. Hey guys, it's Alvi here, the embodiment of Mercury retrograde. Jokes. I did this reading yesterday. I recorded it all. Actually, no, I recorded it on Monday, ready to go, and I had group 3 to do yesterday. But when I went to upload it, there was no audio. So I'm kind of having a bit of a giggle because tech glitches are a thing right now. Mercury retrograde shadow, I think it is, and then there's some other stuff going on as well, energetically. So let's get into your reading. So this is group 2. So if you chose the chevron amethyst and the water card, or the water card, this reading is for you. So looking at this card, it's such a beautiful card. It's the overflow, water, the overflow. So it's sort of like, you know, they're saying like you can't pour from an empty cup. This is like the opposite of that. This is like having so many cups that are overflowing that, you know, there's just overflow everywhere, having a lot of something, an abundance. And water represents like emotions and feelings and things like that. So it could be that, but it could also be, you know, other things. And I guess we'll find out as we go along into this reading what those are. So let's just get some more oracle cards out for you guys. So yeah, my as far as weird techie glitch type things go, my laptop decided to start working at the beginning of the week, and my phone has been very weird with recordings and stuff like that. This internet's been flicking on and off. It's really, really odd, right? There's something going on. There's a lot of energy coming through. All right, so I'm feeling like I'm probably not getting the right messages because I'm not focusing on, you know, bringing the messages through as I'm shuffling and talking. So I'm going to try for those cards again. The right messages will come through no matter what. So, okay, let's have a look. Group 2. Can we get group 2 messages, oracle messages, the underlying or overarching energy, either way it works sort of thing. It's like the themes, the main themes for this week, although by the time I get it out, it won't be this week anymore by the way things are going. So we have wind, activation. Having a bit of a giggle that my son is not in here, showing us his wind. So activation, yeah. I can feel that in the energy as well. Just messages for group 2. Veiled, fog. Okay. We might pull one more and see what's going on here. More messages for group 2, please. True clear messages for group 2, please. I don't know what was going on there. One was trying to jump out, or if it was just something else going on. So group 2, here we go. All right, tree, grounding. Oh, that's interesting. I just actually wrote a little post about the current energies right now, and that some of you guys might be really feeling the need to ground because the energy is quite intense. I love this kind of energy, but it can make you feel a bit like wired or anxious, or a bit like you've had too much coffee and you want to get everything done all at once, when really what you need to do is kind of sit back in your own heart and listen to your own sort of timing and try to be calm. So grounding can do a lot of can do a lot for you under these circumstances, but at all times too, being grounded is great. Let's see what else. So we have water, the overflow. So this is something that's overflowing in your life. I'm getting abundance, I'm getting love, or just like good feelings, that kind of thing coming through. So this is an emotional overflow. You might also be feeling at this moment with this big strong energy that's been coming through for the last few days, emotional overflow, as the frequencies kind of hit you. You might find that you are having heart center expansions. You might find that you have like spontaneous emotional releases and things like that. And while these things can feel a little bit funny, it's all positive because it's letting go of things that you don't need. Sometimes when you have this kind of activation energy, it can really push things open. And yeah, I think it's sort of clearing the way for more for you. Because we have the fog here though as well, I feel like at this point in time you're kind of seeing the light, but you're not quite there yet, right? So there's something going on that's kind of veiling the truth, or veiling your truth, because truth is subjective to each person. Let's have a look and see what messages we have from the elementals, from the fairies. And we'll see. Oh, here we go. Feeling safe. Okay. So grounding and feeling safe is kind of giving me this feeling that what I was saying before might be very poignant for you guys at this point in time. And sometimes I'm also getting this feeling, this heart-shaped crystal's just kind of pushed its way onto the overflow card. So yeah, obviously emotional stuff and maybe speaking your truth. But the message that I was getting with the grounding and the feeling safe and the overflow card all together, this energy message of sometimes when you have more than what you're used to of something, like that doesn't matter what it is, if you have more of something than you're used to, it can make you feel unsafe. So grounding and doing practices that, you know, protect your energy, or doing whatever you practically need to do to bring that feeling of safety in for you as you adjust to the feeling, like the extra feeling that you might be getting right now, would be very helpful for you. I'm also getting a message as well that this could be about, you know, feeling that you will be feeling safe because you have more. You know, different messages for different people, and this is a collective reading. As I've mentioned in the post that I put up so that you guys could choose which cards on Facebook, I am offering personal extended readings for from these readings. So if it resonates with you, if the message resonates with you and you would like to get deeper information that's personalized to you, I will leave the PayPal link in the description below, and you can book that way to get a video recording that's personalized to your energy. I love when I throw cards on the floor. So yeah, alrighty, let's go one more card or message from the elementals for group 2, please. Group 2 elemental messages. Oh, okay, stand your ground. Yeah, all right. So, I feel like some of you might be feeling a little, with the wind card, that just kind of caught my attention as I saw stand your ground. You've got grounding and stand your ground. So this might be a case of like feeling activated and overwhelmed, but needing to remember your boundaries and not overstepping those, but also stand your ground. As I saw that, I was like, there's kind of like, I feel like there's a whirlwind of energy around you, not from you, but you might need to stand your ground on that, like in that situation as well. Or also another message that came through with stand your ground is like, don't let, how can I put this? Don't let a competition or what you see as competition or something that makes you feel triggered by that kind of energy of like, I'm in competition with someone else, push you out of where you might, where you are with this overflow energy. Don't let it trigger you too much. With activation, I'm seeing like, a lot of mental energy, a lot of wind affects the Vata dosha. So I hope I said that right. I know what it is. So it's like Ayurveda. In Ayurveda, there are different personality type things, and the Vata element is like very sensitive to a lot of wind and a lot of air, and it causes anxiety. So if you are feeling that kind of anxiety type thing going on, just know that it's actually blowing the fog away, but also dig right into these three energies coming through here. Grounding, feeling safe, and standing your ground seem to be very important themes for you this week, whether you're learning to do this, whether you need the reminder from this reading to do this, or whether this is like the energy that you are actually holding this week. That is the sort of the general message here. So there's a lot of something, and I'm kind of getting, you know, emotions or possibly money. We'll see what comes up with the rest of the tarot and angel oracle cards for you guys. But I feel like, yeah, there's definitely a situation where you need to stand your ground and remember to feel safe. Remember to like tap into the more expanded version of yourself, because the more expanded version of yourself will help you overcome any of those kind of insecurity type feelings that might come up through this like clearing kind of energy that's coming in. Okay, so let's see what the angels have to say for you, to you. Oh dear. Yeah, all right. So let's, some group 2 messages from the angel oracle cards, please. I think it's angel answer oracle. Angel answer oracle cards, yeah. Just looking at the box. So yeah, here we go. Going through here. I don't know what is going on in my mind. Okay, trust. Yep, so this is definitely sort of digging into that feeling that I was getting before, that message before. I don't know how... It might relate to some of you, it might relate to all of you, but I feel like this is a situation where you don't feel as confident as you normally would do. Something is going on that's kind of, you know, it's at... All right, sorry, let me just rewind that. So you may be finding yourself in a situation where in the past it has triggered you in a very bad, like a very deep kind of way, and you've had a pretty full-on reaction to it. But I feel like right now this same situation might be coming up for you, and you're being given the guidance and messages of staying grounded and standing your ground and staying safe, not having that same response, because the angels are saying like trust. So trusting in the bigger plan is what I'm getting here for you guys. Trusting that, yeah, you can see the angel here. It's a message of, you know, there's a bigger plan. Source or your soul, or however you want to put it, has plans. This looks like the soul, the higher self, and the, you know, human self. So tapping into these 2 energies here is always the best way to kind of be aware, but also be able to live in the duality of this is happening, but I don't have to respond to it in the same way. I can stand my ground. I don't need to feel threatened, because this is a different situation. It's a different, you know, whatever is coming through. And just tapping into that overflow energy, that feeling of knowing that you're enough, right? So overflow could be knowing that you're enough, or you have enough and you're safe in that. The more you ground, my guides just said this, the more you ground, the safer you'll feel, the more you'll have the right energy for the messages of higher self and soul to come through and to comfort you and to keep you in alignment with your higher purpose and with your path. All right, more messages for group 2, please. More messages for group 2 from the angel. I saw that jump. I think it was the top one. Communicate clearly. All right, so yep, definitely a situation involving other people in some way, and there's some kind of communication thing going on here, which is what I was kind of picking up when this kind of popped up. This is, I think it's sodalite, or it could be lapis lazuli. No, it's lapis lazuli, but anyway, all blue stones, and this card's all very blue as well. So, and standing your ground too, blue card, right? It all talks about like throat chakra type work, speaking your truth, staying true to yourself, being able to express yourself in a way that, you know, says, this is my boundary. It doesn't mean that, you know, we can't be friends, or however it's, you know, playing out, not playing out in your life, but this is where I draw the line, or something like that, you know, being able to put those boundaries up gently, but also effectively. Oh wow, that was trippy. I looked up and I saw the pattern behind me on the TV, and for a minute I thought my hair was blowing up in the wind. That was really weird. What an optical illusion. All right, group 2, more messages from the angels, please. Group 2, more messages from the angels. I don't know if that one was meant to come out, or if it was just my weird shuffling. More messages from the angels, please, for group 2. Oh, there we go. There's one that says remain positive. Yep, so stay tuned into that trust and into that grounded, feeling safe energy. I just keep getting, you're enough, you're enough, you're enough, that kind of, or you have enough. There's no scarcity. There's no reason to live in scarcity, or let that kind of energy get into your energy at this point in time, at this moment, and during this week. Let's have a look. Any more, please? Any more messages from the angels group 2? See, I don't know if you've watched group 1 either, but I had my stuff all set up differently. This is why you can see the background in my house, instead of, I had it set up so that it was like an overhead view of the cards, so you could see the cards rather than be looking at me while I read them and shuffle them and all that. And yesterday, this is another sort of, I would call it a tech glitch. The tripod just decided it was going to fall over, and it fell into a candle. And I ended up with wax all over the back of my phone, which I record on, especially because my laptop's not working, so I can't use webcam to record. So yeah, everything's been a bit of a disaster, but it's kind of like, I don't know, I feel like when things like that happen, it's just redirecting you to a different way or a different time or something like that. Rather than letting it get you frustrated. And I feel like the reason that I'm saying this is my guides are kind of pushing it out so that it's a message for you guys as well. I was like, if things don't feel like they're going right or whatever, it can be, or, you know, they don't feel like they're going according to plan, which is your plan, probably, you know, like your ego's plan. So if it feels like that, or if it starts feeling like you're kind of pushing shit uphill, basically shuffling shit uphill, and things aren't working, is a reason for you, and that reason is for you to back off and go in a different direction, or find a new way or a different way of doing things, even if it's going back into the way that you would normally do things when you're trying to change things up, and not being frustrated with it, because we have this very expansive energy coming through. We have to kind of give room for it to expand, right? And as it's expanding, it can cause a little bit of chaos. Different things changing and shifting and all that kind of stuff. So let's have a look and see if there's any more messages from you guys. For you guys, from the angels. For group 2, please. More messages for group 2. Group 2. More messages for group 2. Okay, we've got 2 cards here. Okay, hopeful people, and we've got not the right time. So kind of going along with what I was saying, I don't think that, like, I'm not getting from not the right time that it's a major theme sort of thing. like it's something major in your life that it's not the right time for. But it's just kind of bringing that energy to me right now that I was just talking about, which is not letting, you know, the little bits and pieces that aren't doing what you want them to do, or slight kind of variations in like routine or something like that, upset you so much that nothing gets done. Because I feel like sometimes, and I'm just as guilty of this as anyone else, is we have this plan set out in our minds, and because it doesn't work that exact way, it kind of like we hit this almost cognitive dissonance kind of feeling and get frustrated. And the more frustrated you get, the less things work, and it turns into a snowball of like everything just fucking up basically. So this is just the message that's sort of coming through. It's just to remember to go with the flow, right? I think I said this in another reading, or maybe it was the one that just didn't turn out. Go with the flow. Go with the flow. That's all you can really do anyway, but sometimes going with the flow feels like, I don't know, I've seen those little memes with the, you know, it says go with the flow, and there's like this tiny boat on a huge wave and looks like it's going to get capsized and drowned by the wave. It can feel a bit like that. But, you know, like the angels have said, trust and remain positive. Make sure you can communicate clearly. Okay, we have the star to start you guys off for the week. So this is the beginning of the week energy. You know, dreams coming true, but also like hope and looking to the future, seeing into a more sort of like expanded viewpoint, perhaps having that, I'm trying to think of the word, the right way to put it. Optimism. Oh, yeah, having some optimism. Having that optimistic kind of, I'm excited for what's coming, and being open to having magic come into your life. This looks very magical to me. Okay, that's too many cards, man. I can't read all those at once. Okay, can we get some messages for the beginning of the week, which is almost over, by the way. Hopefully I get this up soon. Beginning of the week for group 2 tarot. No, that's too many as well. I can see there's like a huge chunk, half the deck. Yep, there we go. All right, so what have we got up here? We've got the 9 of Wands. So this looks to me, as I was talking about boundaries, like these are boundaries that maybe you let your boundaries down, or maybe there's a situation where you kind of want to let them down, but actually, let me, there's something different's coming through. There's a different energy coming through with this 9 of Wands. 9 of Wands. Let's see. It's kind of like there's a fence there, right? An offense kind of denotes do not come past this. It's like it's to compartmentalize something. So, but it's kind of falling down, and she could easily walk over it, right? So this could be, for some of you guys, it could be that like someone might try to kind of overstep the boundaries that you put up with them. Or it could just be that you are going to discover that there's certain things that you've got in place, like boundaries and things like that, that don't actually need to be there. Being in the reverse position, it's kind of giving me the feeling of like drop your guard a little bit, opening up your energy more, letting more kind of things come in, as long as they feel all right, you know, like I'm all about the feeling. So if it feels good, do it, and if it doesn't feel good, then set up the boundaries that you need to set up to feel safe. This is the High Priestess. So I feel like with the High Priestess, actually, that's a really cool and interesting message I'm getting from these two cards coming up together. I probably should have had a look at it before. But anyway, that message that just came through needed to come through too. But this is the High Priestess, right? So this talks about using your intuition, tapping into your psychic gifts, your feminine energy, and understanding that getting those kind of like messages that are coming from the ethers, you know, from the energy world, and using those to know when, you know, like using your intuition to know when to and when not to let down your boundaries, and who with as well. I feel like there's more to that, but I'm going to leave it for now and come back to it because I reckon it's going to come through soon whilst I am reading the rest of these cards. So can we get some midweek messages for a group 2, please? Midweek messages. Okay. I definitely wanted you to see that. So yeah, there'll be a kind of like a standstill, a hanged man kind of moment. So this is like feeling like you're in stasis. This is feeling like either you can't move or you don't want to move. And honestly, energetically, I felt like that for the last 2 days. Like all I want to do is lie on the couch and sleep. But obviously, you know, you can't. You've got to do things as well. But this is kind of like, it's a standstill to gain clarity, to gain a different perspective. And I feel like with these 2 cards coming up in the beginning, so you've got hope for something. There's like, or you've put a lot of optimistic kind of energy into something. You're very open to that thing happening, whatever that is. And I feel like it's related to the overflow. And although we haven't had anything coming up to do with abundance, it could be that, but I feel like this is more of an emotional thing for you guys. So yeah, putting a lot of hope and optimism into something, like having that kind of open energy to let things in, but stepping in very much so to this flowing high priestess energy that allows you to let everything in. And then, see, there's let me just, this is tricky, right? There's 2 different schools of thought, and it depends on really what, you know, how your particular gifts or abilities work, right? So a lot of people come from more traditional way of looking at things, which is you need to have shields up, you need boundaries, energetically boundaries, that is, not the other kind of boundaries that we were talking about before. You know, do a lot of energy clearing, do a lot of that kind of thing, right? And that works for some people, but for other people, a lot of people, maybe not so many, I don't actually know, but when I went through my heart center awakening, and I think there's people like, you know, Matt Kahn and that who talk about heart center awakened. It's like heart center awakening is like a different spiritual paradigm in a lot of ways, and it is very connected to unity consciousness, and therefore you don't need to reject everything. The more that you accept that it is, the more it transforms. So for some of you, that might be something that's coming in. It's like letting more things in and just letting them be what they are without being afraid and without pushing them away, because when you can do that, you have more power. And when I say power, I just mean like personal power. You have the ability to, what's the word I'm looking for? To resolve things in a completely different way, in a way that is using like unconditional love to bring that thing or those things or that, you know, that gap or whatever it is back into wholeness within yourself. You know, like doing a lot of energetic transmutation with unconditional love through the heart center. That's not for all of you. That's just for some of you, right? For others of you, you know, you stick to whatever works for you, right? Depends where you are on the path, who you are, what you're doing, kind of thing, and what you know and how things work for you. Your soul path, I guess, is probably where I'm heading with that. So yeah, but definitely letting the guards down a little bit more to allow integration, to allow messages from your higher self, your soul, from unity consciousness, if that works for you too, about what to let in and how to transmute it. And I feel like this midweek is going to be a bit of a pause for you guys to gain clarity or a different perspective on something, so that you can come to this point where whatever needs to be finished is finished. It's like the ending of a cycle and the starting of a new one. I don't know. I think we'll just pull some more cards. Let's have a look and see what else is going to come through for group 3. This is kind of mid to end of the week. All right, the 7 of Wands reversed. So the 7 of Wands depicts someone who's basically being poked by lots of other wands, right? I'm not even going to say what just came into my head. I'm filthy, honestly. The wands. The Knight of Wands is meant to be like in some readings it's like a one night stand, right? So I'm obviously thinking rude things about about these wands. But anyway, it's in reverse, right? So the wands could be other people's opinions, other people, or maybe like this. Actually, the reason that I was thinking that is my guides have just said, you're actually right. It's like you've got a lot of suitors or something. It's sort of like overflowing, and there's a lot of kind of jostling to try and get to you. And it might be love related, or it might just be like, people want your attention. It just depends on your path, if you're single, if you're looking, or if you're just, out there in other ways. So I feel like you'll be having all of this kind of people trying to get your attention one way or another, like prodding you, poking you. It could be gossip, it could be other things like that. But more than anything else, I feel like it's sort of like, all right, so like, especially if you're a woman, people connecting themselves to your womb and expecting you to kind of like lift them, mother them in a way. And maybe in the past you've done this because you didn't know any better, but now you're kind of seeing that is a that it drains you, right? Because it does energetically drain you when other people who are very capable of doing their own, in a parenting or emotional stuff. I'm trying to think of the right word. The word validation came to mind, and it could be that. It could be that as well. But I'm kind of getting this, like, a lot of people in society are very codependent. They don't know any different than to be codependent as far as relationships are concerned. And it doesn't have to be a love relationship. It could be friendship. It could be a family thing. It's like they expect other people to kind of like validate them, to make them feel better, to entertain them, to do all that kind of thing rather than doing it for themselves. And that's very draining for the person who gets put in that position where they're expected to do that. I feel like with the death and this card, the death and rebirth card coming up, and this card as well, the 7 of Wands coming up in reverse, it's kind of like you're going to be rejecting that kind of energy from now on. You know what it is. You're going to just cut it off at the beginning, cut the snake's head off or whatever. Because you are in your bubble, right? It doesn't matter whether she's upside down or she's the right way up. She's in her bubble. And that basically means she's not really paying attention to all of this stuff. It's not really doing it for her. She's not interested. Let's get some more messages on this. This is midweek energy. So I kind of feel like the Hanged Man is this pause and this moment of understanding for you guys, that the way that you were conducting your relationships, and again, as I say, relationships does not necessarily mean romantic relationships. Any kind of connection with people is a relationship, right? You have a relationship with your parents, you have a relationship with your children. Just take it as it works in your life instead of trying to fit it into if you are going to try and fit it into a romantic thing. And for some of you that might be the case, but I feel like this is it's like the stasis that you will find, it's like you stopping and going, no, this doesn't work for me. I'm totally changing my approach to this. I'm going to stay in my bubble. I'm not going to pay any attention to these wands, this attention, this provoking it. Okay, so it might be provoking something. People trying to provoke you, or people trying to get your attention, or people using those kind of emotionally manipulative tactics to try and get you to, to mother them or to feed them somehow with your energy. Not because they're bad people, but because they don't understand the difference between codependency and sovereignty, right? So, and maybe this is you learning the difference as well, and knowing this is why I felt so drained. This is why things weren't really working for me. Okay, let's have a look. We have the Lovers in reverse. Message with that one. So yeah, for some of you, this could be about romantic relationships. I kind of feel like you're choosing just one person. With these two cards coming up, both in reverse, but next to each other. It's like she's not even really interested. Maybe she's choosing herself. Maybe you're choosing yourself. Maybe you're taking a step back from that and just, from looking for a relationship. So really getting the Seven of Wands is kind of, it's giving me this like, it's like there's lots of messages coming through, lots of people kind of, like internet dating in a way, or just dating for that matter. But yeah, so it's kind of like, rather than be interested in what's going on below her, she's focused on her, you see her sacral chakra there. She's focused on her sacral chakra, and she's looking across at this, right? And this is kind of feels like, because it's come up in reverse, it's like, I'm trying to work out what the actual message is here. Because it's come up in reverse, it's kind of like saying, it's almost like backtracking into some kind of previous concept of how you want to run your relationships or have your relationships. Maybe it's just coming to the realization that you don't need to make a decision because it's already pretty fucking obvious who it is that you want out of all the people that are trying to get your attention or whatever. For those of you who this isn't, a romantic relationship type thing, it's pretty much the same. It's like choosing yourself, or just choosing to focus on one thing, or focus on the important relationships within your life, instead of being distracted by all of this other stuff that's going on outside of you, and all of the, look at me, help me, do this, do that. Like maybe you're just going to focus on your kids, or maybe you're just going to focus on yourself for a while, instead of trying to, spread yourself too thin, and run out of energy because you're trying to help everybody, and it kind of just doesn't work for you. That's how I feel. It might not be that way for all of you. This is a general reading, so yeah, some of you that might not resonate for. Some of you might feel like that's the wrong information, and then at some point in the future realize, oh yeah, maybe that was actually the right message. The messages don't come through from me, they come from my higher self, my guides, etc., etc. So I'm tuning into your energies and just saying what comes through from, different spaces, different kinds of abilities and energy reading and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, okay, so choosing, there is no, for some of you the choice is already made. There's no it's like there's no competition. Doesn't matter how many other people are interested or trying to get your attention. Your focus is fully on this one thing, or this, whatever, however this works for you, whether it's like on your partner or the person you want to be your partner, or your family, your kids, yourself. You're just going to be shutting out the outside world and focusing on that one thing. And that is going to bring you to this, which matches up with our overflow energy here. That is the main thing. It's like working through this week is going to bring you to the point where you're in the 10 of Pentacles type of energy. And that is, you know, having enough abundance of whatever it is, remembering that you are enough and that you have enough, and it doesn't matter what else comes up. Oh yeah, that's another message that I was getting here. This might be about the person, right? Your person. For some of you, it might even be, doesn't have to be, again, romantic relationships. Wow, I'm going to have some water because I'm tripping over my words quite badly. It's like the message that came through, and I almost forgot to give it, but this might be about someone else, right? It might be about, as I was talking about earlier, it's like this feeling of something that would have triggered you in the past into a place where you didn't feel like you were good enough, or like you could keep someone's attention, or you were worthy of getting what you wanted, whether that be emotionally, financially, romantically, familially. Like maybe you didn't get the attention of your parents or something that you wanted, or you know, you felt like you didn't. But this is kind of turning around, and it's giving me this energy of, you know, your worth now, and you know, oh yeah, I digress, sorry. So this is the message. It's like, whatever it seems, no matter what it seems like, if there's competition here, or you feel like there's competition here, that person really, even if the connection is upside down, that person really only has eyes for you, or that situation is really only for you. Yeah. It's very easy for our wounded egos to get crazy and start thinking, oh, you know, they don't love me, or all of those things. So yeah, this could be reversed. It could be you seeing this in another person, or in a different situation where you realize that you are enough, and you finally get to this point where you're not worried about it anymore. Because even if somebody or something doesn't work out, you know that the universe kind of has your back, and they'll bring something else to you that's even better. The 10 of Pentacles. So this is, you know, the everything kind of card out of the Pentacles. So everything in the earthly realm, happy family, a lot of money, financial security, the kind of, yeah, just all the good stuff in life, really. And it's something that I feel like you've been working for, and you finally get what you deserve. I'm going to pull a couple more. So random. This card came up reversed in the first one as well, but it was in a different position and surrounded by different cards. So that might be why I needed to redo this message, this reading. Let's have a look for the, while I want to leave it at the 10 of Pentacles, because I think that's a pretty good place to end it all. Like that's the best message, that at the end of your week, you're going to be in this place of, you know, overflow. Basically, there's going to be enough, and you're going to know that whether you have enough or you are enough, and there's no competition and there's no scarcity and all of that stuff that it's so easy to kind of plug into when there's all this like crazy energy and societal programming and all of that shit that makes us, that disempowers us from our own truth. All right, so I still want to see what the weekend holds for you guys. I'm very curious now. Okay, so group 2. Weekend messages, please. Ooh, that one wants to pop up. So the King of Swords, this is an energy of not being too emotionally attached to things, to being able to be logical about stuff and not, you know, be overwhelmed by emotions. It doesn't mean you don't have them. It's like you mastered the balance between And this is kind of, yeah, I feel like this is the energy that you are in when you're in that Ten of Pentacles energy as well, because it needs balance, right? King of Swords could also be a person with that energy who's going to be in your life or around your life at the end of the week or over the weekends. Could be your person, it could be a father figure, it could be anything, you know. It depends on how it works for you, but yeah. Okay, let's have a look. One more message for group 2 to finish off this reading. Can we get any more messages? Are there any more messages? There's too many here. Oh, hang on. Maybe there's not too many here, because look, well, we have the Queen of Swords as well. I'm not going to take the whole pile, but that's kind of like, you know, matching energies, matching counterparts, and if they come out the right way, they're kind of looking at each other. So for those of you who are resonating with the romantic storyline that's going on in this reading, this could be finding your balance within that partnership, finding your knowledge, your empowerment about what I was talking about before, like scarcity, and understanding that even though you might have experienced that in the past, it's not true with this person, because they're just like you. They're just like you, right? You guys are the same. You're sitting there with the swords, with the air energy, logical, but also balanced with emotions and things like that. So for some of you, that really could kind of mean a good balanced relationship is coming in, because you've chosen to stop paying attention to all of that outside noise. And all of that outside noise doesn't necessarily have to be other people vying for your attention. It could just even be those thoughts that come to your mind, those, you know, those niggly little thoughts, or it could be things that you see around that are all this triggering energy, this activation energy as well. So mastering your thoughts, both feminine and masculine as well. So this could be also, you know, just in general, it could be you finding balance within yourself, finding the balance of that mental energy, like balancing out that feeling that I was talking about before, where you're, you know, being affected by the activation and the transformational energy that's coming up right now, and kind of making you feel like you need to do everything really quick, bringing anxiety and inability to sleep. So what's it called? Insomnia. I can't think because I didn't sleep last night. So yeah, so that kind of thing as well. It could be like this inner meeting and union of your feminine and masculine energies, and finding balance within that. And swords is all about like thought and mental energy and things like that. So yeah, making peace with whatever it is that's been plaguing you. Interesting. I had the Slipknot song Plague stuck in my head, so that's why I said plaguing you, and I went interesting, because my brain just kind of put that all together, that I was singing that because of this. It's like, I know why you plague me, right? That's one of the lines, is that's what was stuck in my head. It's like, I know why you plague me. So it's kind of like, yeah, it's understanding why you're plagued by these thoughts and emotions, and understanding that because you understand that. Because it's come up for, you know, to consciousness, for to be acknowledged, it's going to balance out for you. I reckon that might be the end of the message. That kind of felt like the cutoff point. So I hope that you guys got some guidance, some messages. Again, as I said, if you want to go deeper into it, you can get a personalized extended reading from me. That I will leave the details in the description with the timestamps and that sort of stuff. And other than that, I hope that you enjoyed the reading. If you're not subscribed already, please subscribe. And if you liked it, or you want to, if you feel guided to, you could give me a thumbs up, because that actually helps these messages get out to other people as well, who might need it. You just don't know. And I'll catch you on the next one. Bye. Hey guys, Albie here. I hope that didn't affect the microphone. I've got new microphones to hopefully cut out some of the background noise, although that probably didn't get cut out because it was really loud. I'm here to do Group 3's reading. They started doing it yesterday, but I had some issues and then I had to stop because I had to recharge my phone, and I'm just a tech glitch anyway. Excuse my disheveled appearance. I've been sitting on the couch kind of meditating and receiving codes and things for the last like an hour and a half, and I'm on another planet, I tell you. I mean, it's great. It feels great, but it's very kind of like, knocks you right out of nowhere. Even knocks you right out of nowhere. You know what I mean. Anyway, yeah, I don't feel quite like I'm grounded back in this reality, even though I have been doing lots of grounding practices. Still just bringing my brain back to doing this reading. Sorry. Group 3's reading. So if you chose Starseer, the card Starseer, and or the Amazonite crystal, and this is your reading. Interestingly enough, I was sort of felt like I was connecting with my star family, and galactic sources as I was meditating just then, which is pretty cool. It's always a really interesting feeling and sensation. So Starseer, let's have a look. I think the message I'm getting here, if I'm looking at the cards, sorry about all my yawning, but I can see it's a bit of a reach for the stars kind of thing, like walking up this ladder to get to the stars. I feel like for some of you, this is about connecting with like cosmic knowledge or cosmic wisdom, and opening yourself up to that. Maybe something to do with, like ETs, aliens, or something like that as well. You might be finding out about your star lineage. So, these cards that I'm using here, the big ones, the big oracle cards, they are the Lemurian cards, and Lemuria, I think, is sort of star being. I might be wrong. I'm probably a bit off the planet. But, we have the Lyrians, we have... wow, brain does not want to work. Pleiadians, that's the one I was trying to think of. It just wasn't coming to me. And I should know because my mum's Pleiadian. So anyway, so things like that might be coming to you. You might be becoming more aware of the fact that we're star seeds, or that you're a star seed, and connecting with that energy and that wisdom. For some of you, though, I feel like it's a little bit it's got a bit to do with also kind of, like seeing stars in a way, like things are just kind of lighting up for you. And for some of you too, it could be about like, wanting to be a star, like being famous, being known, that kind of thing too. But mostly I'm just getting, the connecting with that knowledge and that wisdom and that frequency of understanding more deeply what your soul, what your starseed lineage is. I'm going to read from the book. My guides just told me read from the book. Oh, that's interesting. There's cards here that aren't in that deck, which I'm about to use, so we'll pop those in there. What number is that? 46. Oh, I nearly found it. Wow, I really needed that too. Even though I was meditating, sometimes I feel like the energy that comes through, and at the moment, is quite intense. So I wouldn't be surprised if there'd been some more solar flares or something like that as well. I think sometimes my meditations and my sleeps require more sleeping afterwards to integrate whatever's come through for me. So listen to your intuition, trust the holistic journey. Dreams finding their way into being, the bigger picture, a more aligned outcome than expected, and clarity of the greater path. So where are we? I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's quite long, but it says this card depicts intuition as a goddess. She is lifting you out of the clouds of confusion and mind noise and showing you the clear way forward. All right, so this is also messages about like your intuition coming through more strongly and things of that nature. She is your higher self and can see your great potential. Trust your instincts and have faith in your dream. You are already on your way. Keep believing in yourself. Trust in your dreams enough to let the serendipities unfold. Let go enough to allow space for unexpected opportunities, even when the route is not as direct as you imagined. So, you know, that whole being redirected, divine redirection. Pardon me, here it comes. I'm channeling. The burps are coming. Sorry, where was I? Even when the route is not as direct as you imagine, listen to your intuition and you know you've got this. And know you've got this, not and you know you've got this. And know you've got this. All right, so let's have a look at these cards here. We'll get some more oracle messages for you, group 3. And group 3, this is kind of the oracle messages are like the overlying or underlying, however you want to see it, energies of your week, themes that are coming through, like bigger themes. And then we go into the tarot and that goes sort of more into detail. And you might have seen when I posted this one up, I'm offering for anyone who resonates and wants to go deeper again with the tarot and with more oracle cards, personalized readings, and sort of bouncing off these readings. So make sure that if that's something that you're interested in, you check out the post on my Facebook page. I have a payment PayPal, like my PayPal's on there, so you can order it straight away. It will come as a video like this, and you'll get a link to a private YouTube upload for you. So hey, that's really cool. Look at that. The light on my microphone is making a really cool, wow. That's really intense. I didn't think it would do that. Sorry. Anyone would think I was high. I'm not high, I promise. I don't even get high. I don't need to. I'm crazy as I am. I mean, I don't need to get high because I get high on spirit, right? Okay, so release has come up. I just don't know if that's, I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. We'll pull some more cards. Let's have a look. Messages for group 3, please. Messages for group 3. You'll have to let me know about the background noise too. Anyone who's watching this, if it's better, if you can hear my voice more clearly and less, you know, sort of distracting background noise. So we have whale that's come up for you as well. So a release. So perhaps, and I've heard and seen and even experienced this myself over the last few weeks, and I feel kind of like it's a two-pronged thing. When New Year's is coming up, a lot of people are purging, so it kind of becomes the collective energy, but there was also collective energy of, you know, of shift energy that wasn't brought in by humanity, but brought in by, you know, higher sources to help us purge, to help us clear out things that we didn't need anymore, so we could move forward into the next little bit. So the release card is, I feel like you might still be releasing some things, letting go of things, allowing things to just sort of fall away, perhaps. With the release card, like if you have a look at this picture, it's like, you know, autumn or fall. in the forest, and you don't see the trees like hanging on desperately to their leaves. They just let them go because they know that it's sort of, you know, part of the path. So I feel like this is maybe you kind of understanding surrender a little bit more, kind of understanding how to just allow things that aren't meant for you to let go, you know, to be released, for some of you. And for some of you, I feel like this is specifically, you know, you're clearing things out, you're letting things go, more consciously, because you want to step into this star seer energy, right? You want to be able to connect more deeply with your intuition, perhaps, or connect more deeply with your starseed origins. Intuition is saying that I should let you guys know too that I am actually able to do realm readings. I don't know what if you know what they are, but they kind of tell you what realm you came from, whether you're like elemental or from Atlantis, or there's lots of different things, but it can give you an idea of, you know, why you are the way you are for certain, you know, in certain ways. It's hard to explain. If you know what a realm reading is, you know what a realm reading is. Sometimes they go into past life type stuff as well. But it's got to do with, you know, like starseed origins and your soul purpose in this life as well, which if you struggle with that, sometimes having a reading like that can help you decipher, you know, what your soul purpose might be. So breach, this is like breaking through, right? It looks like to me like breaking through, and joyfully too. You know, I don't think I've ever seen a whale do that and thought, oh, he's doing that because he's upset. Right? So the whale, I feel like this whale is breaching. It's like this release and this kind of connecting into the bigger cosmic stuff, however that works for you, whether it's intuit, you know, your intuition coming in strongly, a latent psychic ability suddenly activating, feeling all these codes and this energy that I was just talking about coming through right now, and expanding more into your, like, into the light of your soul, or connecting with your soul origins. Whatever it is kind of, it's like a breakthrough for you. I feel like you're having a breakthrough this week. So coming out of one element and into another, perhaps. I am going to grab some fairy cards. We'll see what the elementals have to say to you. What messages they have for group 3. I'm not going to grab that one because I wasn't focusing. So grab messages for group 3. Here we go. That one's popped out. They're going everywhere, of course. All right, so detoxification, something for you guys. This is very interesting. A day or two ago, I was really drawn to posting about detox baths, something I used to do all the time, but I haven't done for ages. And I was drawn to have one, but it was sort of like Spirit was giving me the message that some of you guys might not know what a detox bath is, for one thing, or just like to kind of remind you that, you know, maybe at this point in time, detoxing in some way would be great for you, whether that's, you know, energetic detox, whether it's physical detoxing, doing a cleanse, going to like a mineral spa, or having a detox bath and a like self-care day as well. With inner child, so you'll be connecting with your inner child and doing some inner child work. But I also feel like this release and this breakthrough has got to do with connecting with your inner child, and, you know, parenting or reparenting your inner child, for some of you as well. We'll pull one more of these cards. Ooh, there we go. New location. We've got a couple here. All right, we've got look inside yourself, stand your ground, and new location. Okay, so new location was the first one. So some of you might be moving. You might be moving house. You might be moving jobs. Or you might be thinking, you know, that it might be time. You might be getting that message, it's time to move this where you are, and that right now it's just not conducive for you to continue your path. Then you've got look inside yourself. So I feel a little soul searching, a little, something going on within, and stand your ground. So there will be a need to assert boundaries at some point this week. Um, I'm just seeing if any more messages are going to come through from these oracle cards, and then I'll get some messages from angels for you as well before I go into your tarot reading. So, not seeing anything specific right now, but sometimes things come through later on. So, as we go through the tarot, it kind of connects up and more messages come through. Okay. All right. So it says wait. There's something that you're waiting on, or something you need to wait on or wait for. Like, I feel like they're saying that there's a need to connect with divine timing. And while I don't go along with the whole idea of divine timing just being waiting for God or source or whatever to arrange things for you, I do believe that divine timing is it is soul led, right? So it comes through your soul. It's when you are ready energetically and you've done the right amount of work and you're activated for that particular thing. So yeah, waiting for something to happen organically. It might be the release that you're looking for, or the breakthrough that you might be waiting on as well. Peaceful resolution. So how that lands in your life. Let's get a few more of these angel cards and find out a little bit more about these two messages. Can we have more messages for group 3, please? All right, what have we got? Abundance. Okay. So your abundance is connected to this. It's connected to you letting go. It's connected to you following your intuition. And it might even be connected to you coming to a deeper understanding of your soul origin, of your starseed origin, and things like that. This whole reading is kind of giving me newly awakening kind of vibes. It might not be that you're not, you haven't been through an awakening before, but it might be that you're going through another one. Sometimes that happens. We don't just awaken once, we continuously expand if you allow it anyway. So anyway, abundance coming through for you guys. So your abundance is connected to these messages. Okay, there's something better. Interesting. Maybe something you're focusing on right now, you're being redirected from, or you will be redirected away from, because there's something better for you. And I feel like this is kind of connected to your new location. I think perhaps maybe this is very specific, right? But this is what came directly into my mind. So I feel like some of you want to move and you found somewhere and you think it's okay, but it's not, it's not 100% perfect. And they're saying wait because there is something better. Like, don't be in too much of a hurry is what I'm getting, because you want to have, if you move, you want to have the right place. You don't want to just move for the sake of not being where you are. Unless that's, obviously there's reasons and times when that is very necessary. But I feel like for most of you, that's not the case. It's just the human need to hurry things up, basically, the things to be done right now. I think in my other reading, my group 2 reading, I was talking about how I often liken the ego, the humanness of us, to Veruca Salt in the old school Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory thing. And because she's always sort of like, I want it now, Daddy, get me that golden goose right now. That's kind of how, the inner child and the ego behave. And unless you're working with awareness, sometimes they can just come in and start doing that and kind of make you think that you have to hurry or you have to do something at, in in this at that time, or however it works, when really you'd be better off waiting. If you can take some deep breaths and you can take a step back, you'll find something better. So forgiveness. All right, so something about letting go, forgiving. Maybe this is forgiveness for the past. Something to do with the release in the inner child is coming through here. So I feel like this forgiveness card is coming up. It's like to do with your childhood. It's to do with your inner child. So your inner child often is affected by things that happened to you in your childhood, reparenting and all that sort of stuff. It's all about healing the things that happened in your childhood. And that's not to say you had a terrible childhood or anything like that, but when we're little, it's so easy for things to feel traumatizing, even though as an adult you wouldn't think that. Things like that can affect you like a lot more than you would really think so. So you might have something that has come up for you recently that is, childhood based, and it revolves around you releasing and forgiving, because when you can forgive, it means that you're not holding that energy in your energy anymore. It means it can go back to source and it can be cleansed and healed and released. So that, yeah, very interesting. Also, if you need help with that, when I do the divine love energy healing that I do, this is often what comes up is like patterns, things that are held in our energy bodies, and in our heart centers, probably more so in the heart center, because we don't really focus on that very much in the traditional way of healing and stuff. There's not much that goes on in the heart center. It's just another chakra or something like that. But having worked extensively, or both basically just with the heart center for like the last 7 years or so, I've noticed some things that maybe other people don't really kind of have or haven't had access to or don't have an understanding of, that can help you kind of release it from a deeper part of yourself. So yeah, if you need help with that, please hit me up. I've got a few spots of for my divine love healing energy sessions, which are available at the moment, and yeah, they're just good to clear your energy and all of that sort of stuff. If you're interested, you can have a look on my Facebook page, and that will give you much more information than I'm going to give you now. So compromise is your next message. All right, so you'll be making a compromise as well in some way. I feel kind of like just looking at this, watching. I kind of feel like while I'm looking at this, that most of these messages are based around this inner child healing and release that I'm seeing here. The star seer, like, I feel like for you guys, you might be disconnected from that deeper connection with your inner self, with your intuition, because of something that's in your energy field that you are releasing at this time, that's come up to consciousness for healing and for to be acknowledged, to heal, and then to release, because that you just, with forgiveness and compromise, and there's something better. And I feel like it's affecting or has affected your ability to have abundance in your life, to feel like you have financial safety. And by clearing it and by working with this issue, with this challenge in your inner child, with your inner child, with your inner child, that's going to clear that, and you won't have this issue anymore, or as much. Perhaps it takes a little while sometimes for these things to come through fully, but the more you work with it, the more you work with integrating those shadows and becoming whole, the more you will find that you are fully yourself, and therefore able to manifest and create and co-create and anchor and bring things into being in the physical world. So let's have a look at your tarot cards now. I'm just going to give them a knock, make sure that we are going to get the messages for group 3. I do cleanse my cards, but sometimes I feel like there's energy that hangs around that needs a little bit extra. Hello, goodbye, knock, knock. It's tough to get rid of it. So there you go. Cleansed now. Let's have messages that was about to jump out then, I reckon. All right, page of... No, 2 of Pentacles. Okay, page of Pentacles has popped out for you guys. We'll get a few more messages on that first. All right, before I start. A few more cards. We'll get a few more cards and then we'll get some messages. The tarot. So this your sort of beginning of the week energy. I feel like you've been trying to balance something out here, but you kind of feel out of balance with it. It's not working, and I feel, again, I just keep getting brought back to this inner child's working with the inner child, detoxifying, which can mean, detoxifying your thought patterns, detoxifying your emotions and your reactions and things like that, as well as physical cleansing. Also, as I'm looking at the cards here, I'm seeing new location, and I'm getting the message come through for you guys that new location might actually mean new like, how can I put it? Like new timeline, new frequency, something, like you feel like you're different kind of thing. That could be a different location, like a different dimension. It's what my guides are kind of guiding me to say. All right, so feeling out of balance, but also you've got Judgment here, which is putting the past to rest. So I feel like this is the past, and this week you are putting this past to rest. You're working on it. This is your focus. I feel like with Judgment coming up, that is definitely talking about letting go and letting God, right? I'm not a God person, but I like that saying. I think it's kind of cool. Like, let go and let God. It's like surrender and let the universe work it out kind of thing. So yeah, putting that past to rest, and things coming through for all the work that you've done in the past that might not have actually come to fruition because you had this block, because you had this thing that you needed to release. And now this is being released, and I feel like the good work from the past is kind of going to start paying off for you. We have the 10 of Pentacles here coming in as well, which is amazing. So that's kind of like, it's stepping into this, how do you put it? This very sort of abundant, provided for type energy here. And it could mean, like the whole family thing, happy families. Like what I'm actually getting when I'm looking at this card is like there's something that's gone on in your family that is resolving this week, and it's going to bring balance back to everybody. So we can see some more. We'll have midweek. That's early in this week. Let's have a look at midweek messages for group 3, please. Well, I'm regretting not turning that air conditioner back on. It's very quite warm in here. As you can see, I'm wearing a caftan, which isn't my usual way of dressing, but it was hot, so, Okay, so we've got the Page of Cups. I was getting this. It's so strange. I was seeing this card. Well, not strange, but, I was seeing this card in my mind as I was pulling these cards out. I can't remember exactly which one I saw, but I can't, or, where I picked this message up from, but I felt this energy coming through. It's sort of like this energy of serendipity, of things kind of working out, but also how can I put it, in a kind of whimsical way, in a way that you wouldn't expect, but kind of working out anyway, in a kind of like a magical way. a little bit like, if you've ever seen Lemony Snicket's, what's it called? A series of unfortunate events. It's like everything in there sort of seems like a calamity, but it ends up working out in the end. And that's this kind of energy that I'm getting from the Page of Cups here. It could be love related because cups are about love, but it could also be, I'm not really getting relationships coming through here strongly. I'm getting more like family connections and balance within and harmony within the home and things like that. As I'm seeing the pig flying in the cup, I don't know why, but it's kind of, it's bringing me thoughts of, like money donations, or not donations, but like this, I'm visualizing or having a visualization of this cup being full of coins because of the balance that's sort of coming through here, because of the harmony that's coming through here with this card. But also, as I said, it's kind of like, it's funny, it's very offbeat kind of energy that's coming through too. So it's like this very offbeat, positive energy of things kind of looking weird and not really feeling like they're going to turn out, but then they do turn out. So that's a really cool, interesting energy for this midweek for you guys. It's kind of like keep your eyes open for things that are unusual, but somehow fit in, you know what I mean? Hopefully you know what I mean anyway. All right, so let's have more midweek messages. These cards keep coming up in other readings too. The Eight of Pentacles, I think, was in group 1 and group 2. So this is working on something, putting an effort in, investment. Could be financial investment, or it could be just like investing in, your healing, or you're harmonizing with things with people and stuff like that as well. Have the Hierophant here, but the Hierophant is in reverse. So I feel like this is, you're working on with these, hang on, message with these 3 cards coming through. It's sort of like the very first card, the Oracle card, the Starseer card, about connecting with higher sources and intuition and all of that sort of stuff. I feel like with this Page of Cups energy coming through, which is very kind of, as I said, it's discombobulated, but it's not negative. It's just kind of, how would you put it? It's really hard to explain, right? But I can just sort of feel it. It's this a little bit offbeat, a little bit weird, but at the same time it works kind of thing. I don't know, like mixing chocolate and smoked paprika or something like that, and it tastes really good. That's the kind of thing that I'm getting here. It's sort of like you've been trying the traditional way to walk up the stairway, and it's not actually, it hasn't worked for you for a reason. And that's because maybe you're a very offbeat person. Maybe you don't have all those little bits and pieces to kind of put it all together, or you've been trying too hard to be perfect, right? And this is something that I see or have seen a lot in a lot of the groups that I've either been in or, been a moderator of or something like that, is people get so serious about spirituality that they can't even, have a laugh, right? It's like, it's too serious. I have to be but it doesn't work like that, guys. Trying to be too perfect is just, it hurts you. It doesn't help you at all. If you're so focused on things being exactly as they should be, you don't have the capacity to open up and let things be what they are. And when you can let things be what they are, then things start to work for you, because you're not trying to control everything. You're not trying to manipulate things. You're letting things be what they are. And then with that acceptance, it allows things to happen organically. And this is kind of this energy here that I was getting with the release. This is a kind of you learning about how to let go, about how to surrender to things that aren't, as perfect as you want them to be. Not micromanaging the universe and letting things happen in the timing that they're meant to happen in. So yeah, that's a big message for you guys, I think. It's like, have fun with it. That's what I'm kind of getting here. It's like, instead of trying to be all perfect and make sure that you meditate for this many minutes at this particular time of the day, try to go for something a little bit more relaxed, right? Because the more tense you are, the less likely you are able to connect in with your higher self. Like, being very, very relaxed is when messages come through. That point between being fully asleep, and waking up, is a point where a lot of the time people will start getting messages from spirit and things before they can consciously tune into that. It's also a reason why people meditate, is because it puts us in a space where we are less likely to be sort of repelling things. It's just open. You have your energy open, and that way things can come into you. So the message I'm really getting, guys, and I'm not picking on you, by the way, this is just what's coming through. It's like, instead of trying to take everything so seriously, try and have fun with it. Enjoy it, right? Enjoy it. That's the thing. Instead of trying to do everything in this, very measured and ordered way, which mustn't be working for you. Or maybe it's something that's something that's connected to the inner child work that you're doing. And I feel like you're either going to realize it this week, or it's going to start working for you this week, that you can just go in with the flow. You don't have to do everything at the time that the clock says or society says or whatever. You do things when you feel like it, when the energy feels right, and things work out way better. I could probably talk about that for hours, but I will not. Let's get some messages for you guys for the end of the week. All right, end of the week for group 3, please. Oh, we have some good energy coming through. So lots of sunshine. See this very open energy coming in here, open arms, letting source come in, trusting that, your soul has a path and a purpose, and that other people's do as well, and not trying to control those things too much, but just enjoying the ride. Lovely energy. So end of the week, you'll be seeing some happiness, some good things coming in. Let's have a look. More messages for group 3, please. More messages for group 3. Not doing too badly about, with I'm not throwing cards on the floor is what I'm trying to say. Alright, can I have a few more messages? Alright, that one looks like it wants to come out. Okay, 6 of Cups. So reminiscing, nostalgia. Maybe you're remembering happy times of when you were a kid now, instead of remembering those things that, weren't so great or something like that. Like, you're maybe able to finally switch out of that traumatized mode, like that survival mode, I think is the message I'm trying to give here. So yeah, like looking back on things fondly, looking back on things with love. For some of you, this could mean that somebody you love is coming back into your life. It could also represent a soulmate kind of connection, returning to full strength or something like that. But I feel specifically with this reading that for most of you, just generally, it's just about, being able to look back on the past with a bit more happiness and a bit more, remember the times that were good. So wow, my mouth nearly went and said something really strange then. Say something. Who am I channeling? Anyway, so yeah, so looking back with love and fondness from a more expanded version of yourself is what I feel is coming through towards the end of the week. And that's so cool. It's such good energy. I think that's too many, honestly. We'll just go one more message for you guys for group 3. One more message. Okay, we've got the King of Pentacles. All right, so this is also, I feel like, This could be a father figure coming into your life or returning to your life, and this might have to do with the King of Cups. This is someone who provides. This is someone who has, you know, that money, that abundance, that financial security that you're looking for. Yeah, just the message that came through father figure. So someone you're either reconnecting with because of this Six of Cups kind of energy coming up, that it's going to bring you a lot of joy and happiness to have this person back in your life. As I said, I don't feel like it's a romantic thing. I think it's more of a familial thing. So, you know, family thing, father figure, maybe a stepfather, maybe, you know, it doesn't have to be someone who's a male either. It could just be someone who carries this energy within them. So someone who's good with money, someone who's got it all worked out, someone who's older and a bit more, you know, in control of how things go, kind of thing. Or maybe not so much in control. That's probably the wrong way to put it. But someone who is like prepared for whatever comes up and is okay with that because they've made preparations and things like that. And I feel like they're sort of coming in to help you do that as well, and kind of soothe the energy, soothe the tumultuous releasing of things that you might have been going through. And I feel like you have kind of been going through that. Yeah, okay. I think that's probably enough messages for you guys for today, for this week. Hopefully you got some guidance, something that helped you or will help you during the week. Again, as I said, if you are interested in going deeper and getting personalized, a personalized reading that sort of bounces off this reading, check out my Facebook page. I might even just like leave a link in the description of these readings so that you can jump straight from here to there, from there to here, from here to there. Funny things are everywhere. I've been reading too much Dr. Seuss, apparently. So yeah, if that interests you at all, or setting up a session, or even just having a chat with me about how the healing and other stuff that I do, the very technical words, other stuff that I do, might be able to help you in becoming more whole, I guess is probably the best way to put it. You can just private message me, DM me, or whatever, or whatever. So yeah, just if you like this reading, oh my God, my brain. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed, subscribe, and I will see you on the next reading. Thanks for watching so much. Bye.